Good morning, everyone. It's great to see you today and start the day together. I'm coming to you from one of our Twin Lakes Christian School Teachers Lounges today, in case you're wondering. Well, this weekend, we talked about whatever is lovely. We talked about cultivating delight, noticing, really seeing all the loveliness that God has placed around us. And as I pondered on the thought audit that Renee asked us to do, to think about whatever within the boundaries, of course, of true, noble, right, and pure, but to think about whatever's lovely. You know what? It took me a minute. And then I pondered on, well, why is it taking me a minute? And then I did the next thing in the thought audit that Renee asked us to do, and I went back to my childhood, to think of what I loved then. Turns out it was something I still love, creation. I grew up in the Seattle area, and just like down here in the Santa Cruz area, let me tell you, there's some serious beauty in the Seattle area. And I remember one time that I particularly pursued what is lovely. Every day on my bus ride home from school, we passed this beautiful section of forest that had a creek running through it, and I just loved that little section of forest. So one Saturday, I determined to ride my bike to that spot so I could really just soak it in. So off I went, and I spent hours there just looking at the creek, smelling the smells, hiking around. I loved it. And that's something I still love, that I still love to think about here in the Santa Cruz area, especially up in the redwoods. They just amaze me. Such beauty. But you know, another thing that struck me at the beginning when I was struggling a little bit is how quickly my mind went to, what's wrong with me? Why can't I do this well? I thought you were a grateful person, Val. And that's when a verse popped into my mind. And it reminded me that even when I might be struggling to cultivate delight, God delights in me. Zephaniah 3:17 in the NLT says, "For the Lord your God is living among you. He is a mighty Savior. He will take delight in you with gladness. In his love, he will calm all your fears. He will rejoice over you with joyful songs." I mean, isn't that amazing? When you ask God, what delights you? He thinks of you, of me. Wow. That's something I can always take delight in today and every day, that God delights in us. And we can delight in just more than that, because that verse reminds us he's with us, that his love can overwhelm our fears, and that his delight even turns to rejoicing. What an amazing God we have. What a wonderful thing to be reminded of as we start the day. Cultivate delight today. Even if it's just looking at your car window, out your car window at something while you're crawling along on Highway 1. Cultivate delight even if it's from the view of a doctor's office, or if it's from the view behind a giant pile of laundry. First soak in God's delight of you, and then see how that opens your eyes to the delight and the loveliness all around you. Thank you so much for starting the day with me, and I hope you have a delightful day.